Dohcast, we talk about shit the Doughboys do.
So I was fucking
starring me, Simon, also known as Doc Nev. Check us out. Check me out.
yeah, check him out, dude. I check him out every year. I'll
retake that shit. It's your boy, Simon Kotz, aka Doc Nev.
I just spilled this tea all over myself.
With the homie.
Oh,
yeah. Fucking name.
Sorry, I'm Clayton. I go by Clay, and this is the Dohcast, and I guess this is probably the premiere video on this fucking channel, but I don't know. We're just a collective, and we just like to make shit, and I feel like a podcast is one of those things, and we're doing it weekly, so we just talk about random shit. Don't come here for the fucking news, because we're legit just two fucking teenagers making shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, one of our that's my bad, but
No.
one of our hosts isn't here. Her name's Chloe, and she's the third person. She just couldn't make it to the premiere episode, which I know was fucking sus, but
Big tough.
it's big tough.
Big tough. You know you're at the GTA 5 loading screen and you see Chop?
Yeah.
I want that tough.
What do you think Chop is looking at? Oh, by the way, he's playing GTA 5 while we're talking about just having a podcast, because I don't know, I feel like it'll work.
Hands down, one of the greatest video games ever made. GTA
That's
5
facts.
is a masterpiece.
I think that's probably the greatest game of the 2010s.
Hmm.
I think that's a good hot take. Oh, anyway, so you were talking about the Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, so I was just watching the show. I highly recommend it. Boardwalk Empire, if you haven't heard of it, it's a show set during the Prohibition era, where gangsters all across the East Coast were peddling alcohol, which, as many people... Oh, it's the fastest car in the game. Which, as you know... Hold on, I really want this car. Oh, fuck. No.
Wait, isn't Steve Buscemi in...
Yes,
Steve Buscemi. Is he the protagonist?
Yes, he plays Nucky, who was one of the... No, you...
He just got the supercar. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's got the supercar in fucking GTA 5.
Yeah, it's only spawns a certain amount of times, but when you see it, it's there. And I got Franklin, too, so I can use his special abilities to drive. One of my favorite things in this game is to just drive. That's it. I think that's what makes GTA so fun. It's just the driving itself. Anyways, so Nucky is a character and a real-life person because all the characters are based on real-life people, named after real-life people, and are real-life people in the show. Nucky is is the main character, and he peddles alcohol, which was, if you didn't know, Prohibition was during the 20s, was proclaimed to basically it's like, think of the war on drugs but with alcohol. So
yeah.
During that time, people, if you take away one of the most valuable valuable drugs in the world, people are just gonna find another way to get it, Yeah. It's just how it works. And, it was obviously run by by various crime syndicates, ranging from different ethnicities that were prevalent during the Prohibition era. So you had the Irishmen, the Irish, trading with the Italians, and you had the Italians trading with African Americans and the Chinese. It was big deal. Big deal. A lot of people died. A lot of people lost their lives, but it's how people got drunk without, illegally getting drunk. And they have to deal with the feds and everything. But that's just the setting. The show itself is really well written. Great cast. Al Capone is played by... what's his name? Could you look that up real quick?
Al Capone in Boardwalk Empire?
Yeah. He's really famous. Famous in that I don't know his name. And, again, Steve Buscemi plays Nucky, the main character. One of my favorite characters is David Harlow, who is a World War One veteran, because this is after World War One. A World War One vet who had half of his face blown off.
Oh, Jesus
And
Christ.
he has a cast mask over his damaged side, and it plays into his character because he's often looked down upon for his looks.
Yeah.
And the only way he knows how to live is to kill. So he kills people to it's not like his main thing, but he kills people to fucking as one of his things. You see a bunch of shootouts where he's like just tearing people up. It's actually really sick. He has a really sad conclusion, which I won't spoil. I recommend the show a lot.
Yeah.
And it has about, I think, how many seasons is it?
I could check. Oh, so by the way, the actor who played Al Capone is Stephen Graham.
Stephen Graham, yeah. He was in The Irishman as well. Great actor.
Holy shit. Okay, so...
How many seasons are in it? I think it's
5.
5, yeah. The last season isn't quite so great because the show had to get canceled, unfortunately, but the first, like, in my opinion, the first, like, 3 seasons are the best.
Yeah.
And if you're into crime and, like, historical drama and shit, I recommend it a lot.
Dude, that's fucking fire. What's crazy is I've heard of that show, and, like, I knew of the show when it came out, but I was fucking young when that show aired.
Yeah.
So, like, I was, like, 10. Like, we were like, 10. I was, like, in middle school, so, like, I didn't really, like, get drawn towards it, but now that, like, fucking, we're almost fucking adults, like, legal adults, I feel like that show seems more interesting now.
Yeah, I recommend it for you, because it's a good drama, if you're into watching dramas and shit. Like binge watching. It's a good binge watching show.
Yeah.
Episodes, you can't really find them on Netflix or anything. You might have to pirate them. Or, excuse me, permanently borrow them.
They might have it on fucking Hulu. I can check if it's on Hulu.
Okay, sure.
But, yeah, no, for sure. I'll probably watch it. Dude, we should do that, like, fucking every episode, just recommend, like, a show or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of... I feel like that's a cool thing to do.
By the way, this is not, like, structured.
Yeah, no, we're just having conversations. Like,
we're just talking.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, we don't have, like, segments. Like, if anything, we'll have, like, one thing to start the cast with and then just continue off of that. Because that's how most conversations work. You talk about one thing and then
it comes into another.
Like, you'll start talking about fucking limousines and then you'll fucking, like, 5 minutes later you're talking about the fucking Mark Wahlberg version of fucking Rise of the Planet of the Apes or some shit like that. Dude, have you seen that? That version of Planet of the Apes where, like...
Is it the one set in San Francisco?
I think so. It's the one where he comes back to the future or whatever.
Oh!
No. Yeah, and the Lincoln Memorial's a fucking monkey. Yeah, it's a fucking monkey.
That's funny as fuck.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna get this car repaired because I fucked it up.
But,
this tea is delicious.
You want to talk... Oh, wait, what?
What tea is this?
It's like apple. It's like... an apple. Oh yeah, by the way, we're drinking like iced tea, and it's so fucking cool because like I usually like my shit really sweet, but this is like the one exception where the tea doesn't have to be really sweet. It's just legit. It's a lot of sugar, but it doesn't feel like it's super sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, here I think. What did you think of fucking? Okay, first of all, what did you think of Eternal Atake, the original release?
Okay.
And then Love vs. the World 2.
This is recorded on... Fuck! I just got it out of the fucking... I just got it repaired. I just crashed the Bugatti. Okay.
So, okay, by the way, this episode is recorded, like, the day Love vs. the World 2 came out, so this is, like, Friday the 13th.
Yeah. It is Friday. Oh, shit. It is Friday the 13th.
Yes.
So, your boy, Simon, over here, big fan of Lil Uzi Vert. I don't really know why, I just like his shit. But, I thought Eternal Atake was weak in that we were hyped up for it and given a high expectation, and those expectations were not really met because it felt more quantity over quality. And, because while there's a couple bangers, especially in the beginning, there's not much else midway until the very end. P2 is a fucking banger.
P2 is such a good album ender. Like, I feel like that's a good closure to the album.
Most definitely. And, like, it it didn't match the tone of his other stuff, which is fine. That's okay, but like, I felt like Luigi versus the World 2, the deluxe version of Eternal Atake, did that. It matched the tone.
Yeah, I feel like I think it was a very good like business decision to release Eternal Atake first.
Yeah.
And then Love vs. the World. Because if you think, a lot of people loved Eternal Atake, the original release. And, like, I feel like Uzi knew that was the weaker half.
Yeah.
So he definitely did a good job on re-releasing it, or releasing a deluxe edition that was a whole ass second album.
Right.
That was better than the first one, like second. Because then if you release the really good one first, people are going to have higher expectation.
Exactly.
But if you release the lesser of the two, they won't have super high expectations, so when you release the best half, like, it'll blow them out of the fucking water. But
precisely.
I think I told Simon this earlier. I think EXO Tour Life is probably the greatest trap song of all time.
It's pretty fucking good.
Like, I mean, like, do you know any other songs that would like rival EXO Tour Life as the greatest trap song of all time?
By Lose, you just
no, just in general, like the whole trap genre, like.
For that particular song, which is like emo, vocal singing, that's a pretty high bar to set.
Well, not even emo, but just trap music in general. Like, trap. If you because trap is more of a broad topic than just emo. Because I think when I say the greatest trap, one of the greatest trap songs, if not the greatest trap song of all time, I mean that like, as the whole trap genre, like the whole, like, I guess Migos and shit, like,
yeah,
like that whole like 2017, 2016, 2018 wave of just trap music.
I'm gonna say it from the fact that like Migos is a group of people, so they'd obviously have an advantage over one creative body.
Yeah.
I think as a trap song, it's pretty high up there, but I can't like name what's better than it. You know what I mean? It's hard to describe. How would I describe that?
Do you know any that are like? I mean, because I think EXO Tour Life is probably the like I said, if not the greatest, at least one of the greatest trap songs ever made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like it definitely does. And I'm not saying you guys have to agree with me. I feel like it definitely captures what 2016 through 18 was, in terms of like the musical landscape. Especially for like rap and hip hop and shit, but. Like, okay, in your opinion, do you think... Holy shit. He just fucking flipped over a pickup truck. Fucking jeez. But, do you think that there's any song that's at least as good as EXO Tour Life when put up to that pedestal?
I don't really know. It's hard to say. I think there's a lot of great trap songs. Because that song was, like, it's emo. It's emo. It's about a breakup. It's, you know... Yeah. It's about a tough relationship and stuff. That's very emo. You're not really gonna find that in a lot of other trap songs. Like, I wouldn't say, like, I wouldn't compare EXO Tour Life to Chief Keef's I Don't Like.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, for sure.
Because they're different songs.
They're different energies.
Different energy.
Also, I think I Don't Like by Chief Keef is also, like, up there.
Oh yeah.
That is also one of the greatest trap songs of all time.
That song changed the game. It changed the game.
Yeah, dude, and I think it was definitely one of, like, the whole... That's the shit I don't... That's that shit I don't... Like, there's a lot of, there's a lot of moments that I feel like kind of bloomed the whole, like, becoming, like, a rapper or an artist off the internet, and I feel like that's definitely one of those moments.
Yeah.
I feel like that moment, I think Chance the Rapper, too, because he released all his shit for free on fucking Dat Piff and SoundCloud. Who's another one? So Chief Keef, Chance the Rapper.
Like, I'd compare EXO Tour Life to one of the Lil Peep songs.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think
it's emo.
I think EXO Tour Life is like, what, like, it's legit everything that Lil Peep tried to do with his discography. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and I just think it's crazy too, because like, the way, like, because like I said, the internet is kind of like Odd Future too. Odd Future did that shit too, but like the internet as a whole made it be like you could be pretty young and start music, and it shifted the whole perception of how like what an old person in the music game is, because like Tyler the Creator's Logic and fucking J. Cole, they're pushing 30. In reality, that's young as fuck.
Yeah.
But in terms of, like, the internet, that's old because they've been doing it for a while.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, when Tyler did this shit, he was fucking our age. When he started, he was, like, our age. And, like, I don't know, they're not old at all. Like, they still have so much life left in them to do. Like, they could live their entire career over again and still, like, not be old. They'll just be, like, in their prime or some shit. Like, and I think that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I like I said, I think I don't... Oh! Fucking Bobby Shmurda. That was another highlight of just, like, internet, like, paving the way for fucking
Bitch, call about a
week ago. Dude, that line, oh my, that music video is so iconic.
Yeah.
I would say Broccoli, but I don't think so, because I think Broccoli was one of those in the moment.
Yeah, it's
like, because, like, now, like, I don't listen to Broccoli by Lil Yachty. And
I don't know anyone that does.
I don't listen to that anymore, but definitely I had that shit, Daily Rotation 2016.
Yeah.
Daily Rotation. But, I think, oh, what's up? My fucking, my brother just walked in the room.
He's out.
What's up, Josh?
Trying to find a dirt bike.
Hi. That's my brother. I don't know if you could hear him. What's up, bro?
Hi. Oh, I just
How's life?
Yo, I got Red Dead.
You too?
Yeah.
No.
You're playing it, aren't you?
No.
Can you grab it?
I don't have
Okay. What the fuck is this, dude? Do you want to?
Mexican standoff.
Yeah. Do you want to be in this cast? Or are you still playing League?
I'm playing Battlefield 5. Well, I'm not in the game of Battlefield 5.
You want to be in this cast?
I don't really mind. I don't really care.
Okay.
Is that a yes?
Is that a yes or a no? Come on.
If you want me out, I'll be out.
Okay. Do you want to be in this
my
room?
God, my car.
Sure, I guess I'll just stay here.
All right. Fuck yeah. So my brother's in the fucking podcast now. He's the first guest star on the fucking cast. Oh, is he just gonna sit in the room? Are you not gonna talk? Are you just gonna sit? Okay.
Ditch the Bugatti for a dirt bike.
It's so funny because I'm watching you. Like, I could see him with the controller in his hand and looking at the TV, but I completely forgot he was playing GTA 5. Like, we were just so in depth in this conversation. But another thing I want to ask: did you play with tech decks as a kid?
No, I knew people who did, and all right. One thing to understand about me is that I'm a biking person. I've always been a two-wheeled person. I always say like I came out the womb on two wheels, and
just imagine that, right? A fucking baby on a fucking fucking bike, like out of the uterus, just.
But I used to ride with skaters all the time. I even got into skating for a very short period, but it just really wasn't my thing. So I've always been a dedicated biker, but I knew people who, skate, and with that they use tech decks. So, yes, I did grow up with tech decks, and I didn't use them though. I saw people doing tricks and shit with them in the schoolyard, but like, I never got into skating that deep, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if someone would have asked me what my favorite skater is, I'd say Tony Hawk, because that's what every poser says.
Yeah, no, like, that's the only I'm not even gonna lie, like, I used to skate for like 3 years. I don't know any pro skaters. The only, like, skaters I know, Tony Hawk, and then all, like, the rappers who skate. You know what I mean? Like, Tyler, fucking, what's his name? Amir Van, fucking...
Amir skates?
Yeah. He was like, I wanted to be like... this is a quote. He was like, I wanted to be like Tony Hawk. Because I used to really like Tony Hawk, and I thought that shit was sick. So, Amir Van, Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne skateboards.
Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
I
can imagine him doing...
Who else? It was Lil Wayne. Oh, Justin Bieber, Jaden Smith, yeah. Like, there's a whole, like...
Yeah.
The only people I can name who, like... I can't name any professional, like, athlete skaters, but I can name, like, artists who skate.
Yeah. Skating is a phenomenon. We're from SF, and there's a huge skating thing here in SF. Like...
It, like, low-key came back.
Yeah.
Like
it's been here, bro.
No, I mean, it has been here, but, like, in terms of... I feel like it fell off for, like, a year, at least.
Yeah.
It fell off for a year, and then just, like, randomly it started... Like, I remember last year... Like, in the halls and shit, I'd only see, like, 3 people max to the board.
Dang.
And then...
I grew up with people skating all around me.
But, like, now it's, like, everyone has a fucking board.
Yeah.
Like, people who were shitting on skateboarding, skateboard now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird. One of what's crazy is, Pharrell used to be called Skateboard P, right?
Really?
Yeah, that Skateboard P is Pharrell. That's what...
That's dope.
Yeah, so they used to call him Skateboard P, but I think he was more of a biking person.
I could see.
Like they called him Skateboard P, but in music videos, you like.
I wrote an album that is about my bike.
Fucking stupid.
It'll be released in 100 years.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! If the world is still alive. Okay, I love Pharrell, but bro, no one's gonna. I don't think people are gonna be listening. Yeah, no, for sure he's gonna be dead. I get his estate will dig it up, but I don't think. And I'll say this about my favorite artist. Like I'll say this. I feel like most people could say this about their favorite artists. I think music's gonna evolve to the point where they're not gonna listen to like Pharrell anymore.
Yeah.
Or like at least that generation at that time. The only people in what year was it? It was like 100 years or some shit. So in like 2116, I think the only people listening to Pharrell are like our generation that lasted that fucking long.
Yeah.
Like the boomers of that time. You know what I mean? So like I think I don't know. I didn't think that was a wise decision to do. And I love Pharrell Williams. But I don't think people are gonna be listening to Pharrell. People are gonna be listening to Tyler. People are gonna be listening to like Timbaland and shit. In, like 100 years from now. Like, do you listen to music from the 20s?
The 20s?
Yeah.
I've like given it a shot, and there are some good songs.
I like this. I like this one song called Daisy Bell.
Daisy Bell.
By like.
After you named your bike after that.
No, that's a song. I mean, so the song's about a bike,
yeah.
Daisy Bell. But I really like that name. I think I would. Yeah, no, Daisy is such a cool name, and I like daisies like the flowers too. So everything just lined up. But
mine's I like bananas because they have no bones.
Shut the fuck. Wait, what?
It's
what?
actually a song. I like bananas because they have no bones.
Wait, who sings that song?
Is
it a Lil rapper?
Oh, well, it's 1936, but it's George.
That's a fucking song from the 30s?
This kind of slaps.
Wait, I don't know if we're gonna get fucking copyright strike for this shit.
This sounds like a fucking sample.
It's from the 30s?
Yeah.
I don't think the sample's cleared, bro.
You could be something from there from the 50s.
Yeah, that's whatever. I mean, but, like, I don't know. I just don't think people are gonna be listening to it. But, for the most part, yeah, I don't think people are gonna be listening to Pharrell Williams, and like that's not a bad thing. I don't even think people are gonna be listening to Prince 100 years from now. And Prince is like a fucking I fucking love Prince, but like I don't think I just don't think people are gonna be listening to Prince 100 years from now.
That's how music works.
Yeah, it just changes, and that's just something that people gotta realize that.
Yeah.
That the times change, so like
you either change with it or stay in your lane.
Yeah, like I don't
or stay with your genre.
Yeah, right. But I think there's another thing I wanted to bring up. Do you think so? You know how like vinyl collecting started becoming like a big trend in hipsters and shit.
Yeah.
And like, God, do you think that because I started CD collecting.
Yeah.
Do you think CD collecting will become the new vinyl collecting? I feel like it will.
Oh shit.
I feel like it's slowly adapting to the point where, like, because a lot of laptops don't even have CD players anymore. I remember when every laptop had a disc drive.
That's true. I did not notice that until you mentioned that.
Like my laptop that like we're recording this shit on, it does not have a disc drive.
Dang.
Like, and that's crazy. So I feel like,
Whoa.
yeah, right. Like
Whoa.
it's crazy. Like I can't watch a fucking DVD on my laptop, but I think CD collecting is. I'm not gonna say I'm a hipster for CD collecting because like, fucking cars have CD players.
Yeah.
So you can still listen to them, and fuck, dude. Like, I remember when I was a kid and shit, and I'd ride in the car with my parents. Like, we had CDs. Like, we listened to CDs because like smartphones weren't a thing, so like we couldn't just choose what we fucking wanted.
Yeah.
Unless it was on a CD.
When was your first smartphone?
My first smartphone, freshman year of high school.
Really?
Yeah, I did
Whoa.
not. Yeah, no. Like,
whoa.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
I got my shit early.
Yeah, so do my brothers.
Yeah, but Quincy actually broke his.
He got an iPod and he threw it on the fucking ground and it shattered.
That's funny.
Because he got mad. I don't know. Do you know why he got mad?
No.
Dude, like, we have fucking 3 weeks of no school because of fucking COVID-19.
Yeah.
It's fucking...
Dude,
they finally fucking declared it, and because we're from
Marcus.
SF, so they finally declared it a national emergency. Like, it took them fucking long enough to fucking just declare it. Like, I get, like, people shouldn't panic, but I don't think people should be all, like, reckless, because I feel like people could have it. I feel like people just need to be precautious. Like,
Yeah.
just wash your fucking hands. It's not that hard.
Wash your hands and, like, don't cough on people.
Yeah, dude, like, holy fuck, dude. Okay.
I don't know if this is true. North Korea's first confirmed coronavirus COVID-19 patient shot dead.
Dang,
Shot?
I'm not taking chances. I heard that post earlier.
Is that real?
I don't know.
Is that real, or is that...
Where are you reading that from?
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess that's one.
Are you
way.
reading it on fucking IG?
Yeah.
It's on IG. Like,
Half of it, you have a 50% chance of that being real or
Yeah.
fake.
yeah.
It could be a meme
Bro,
or...
dank wheelie.
But then did IG get rid of the whole fact checker thing? Because I haven't gotten any memes with like people saying that see why our fact checkers say it's false.
Yeah.
Did they get rid of it? Because I know they had the whole thing where it's like you don't see who likes your posts, and they did that for like a week, and they just don't do it anymore.
Anyways. Yeah, COVID-19 is not fun.
What do you think about Jesus Christ? Can you do that next to the mic? Because we have sound check. Wait, do that again. Wait, hold on. Just wait. Alright, wait. I didn't know how to do it. He was slapping his fucking tummy. Dude, I don't know why it's like saying fucking tummy. It's so fucking funny.
Come in my tummy.
Coming in my tummy. Fruit salad, yummy, yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy fruit salad. Dude, I had I had that Wiggles DVD. It was fucking Yummy Yummy, the DVD by the Wiggles.
Girl, you got that yum.
Yeah, you
Remember
got
the
that yum.
LSD trip that put you boy your
thing.
finger.
Oh, dude! I'll probably... Because, okay, I'm going to put this shit on YouTube, too. We're going to put this on the DOHBOYZ YouTube channel, and then we'll also put it on the streaming services. I think, since I'm going to be listening to the entire, like, podcast I'm editing, because I feel like a lot of people should do that. I feel like most podcasts do, but sometimes people don't, and they just, like, want to get the job done rather than make a product. But I think for the YouTube videos, I'll cut some shit in. Like, cut some funny-ass fucking clips. Some epic montage moments. But, and then, I guess, for streaming services, it'll just be more of the conversation shit. So there's incentive to go to the fucking YouTube channel. I feel like this won't be too bad, like... Because we are still kind of, like, starting this whole podcast shit, but I think playing a video game in the background doesn't really kill too much. Because, like, we're not talking directly about the video game. It's just kind of like a whole multitask thing. So, I don't know. I think playing a fucking video game every podcast. And then we could also do, like, we could do a fucking film recommendation, or a show, whatever, recommendation a week, and then a fucking video game recommendation a week.
Watch Boardwalk Empire.
Dude, fucking Boardwalk Empire. Dude.
Watch it.
Steve Buscemi hit us up.
Yeah.
Fucking Steve Buscemi be like, yo, they're watching my show! Dude, did you watch Grown Ups? Have you ever seen that movie? Dude, remember when Steve Buscemi broke his fucking arms and his arms are like this? Dude, I'll put a fucking... in the YouTube video, I'll put a fucking image or a clip of fucking... Steve Buscemi broke his torso up, or his waist up, and he broke his arms, like, with them reaching up. So, when they made his cast, they fucking wrapped his bones with his arms always being up. So there's an Adam Sandler quote in the movie where he's like, yo, why? Where's MCA? And I think Steve Buscemi, I don't know if this is a fact, but like I think Steve Buscemi flips him off. Dude, okay, like, no, I love my boy Steve Buscemi. Like, he's cool, but like, some of the fucking TMZ pictures of him do not make him look good. Like,
no.
They do not give a fuck. Like, and I love, like, Steve Buscemi's a good actor too. Like, for the most part, when he makes his Adam Sandler movie cameos, that shit's funny as fuck.
He's just an older dude.
Yeah, he's just older. Dude, we should get fucking Steve Buscemi on our podcast. We should get him on an episode of the Dohcast. Like, just imagine 50 episodes in, it's Dohcast, feat Steve Buscemi and Adam Sandler. Dude, that'd be so sick. Hold on, wait, can I find a Steve Buscemi picture? A fucking... Oh my god, dude. TMZ Steve Buscemi? Oh my god, there's a fucking Steve Buscemi art. Oh, actually? No, he doesn't look that bad. Oh, I should not have tapped that picture. It says Steve Buscemi's wife, Joe Andres, dead at 65. Yeah, I don't want to...
Damn.
Holy shit, I just wanted a picture of Steve Buscemi.
Rest in peace.
Okay, who looks older to you, Steve Buscemi or Willem Dafoe? Do you know who Willem Dafoe is?
I know who he is. I forgot what he looks like.
I got you. He was Green Goblin in the Spider-Man movie, like
They both look scary.
Jesus Christ, Josh! Dude, that's Willem Dafoe. Jesus Christ.
Don't tell Harry.
Don't tell Harry. Dies.
I think Willem Dafoe looks scary. That smile got me.
It's gonna be so funny if like both of them hear this and Steve, like Willem Dafoe is like, they don't like it.
Oh.
That's so funny, dude. No, if Willem Dafoe or Steve Buscemi wants to hop on a fucking episode, fucking come on in. Also, I hate how like, not hate. I mean, yeah, I do kind of hate this, but like when just because you bring someone's name up or make a joke, people automatically think you hate them or have something against them.
Yeah.
Like we just fucking joked about Steve Buscemi and Willem Dafoe being scary. But I fucking love both of them, and like all the the films that I've seen with them in it, like I fucking love them. I think, like I could clearly say the same about. I don't know, because I feel like a lot of people take not criticism, but jokes too fucking seriously.
I love Spider-Man and Spy Kids too.
Spy Kids too. Oh my God, Steve Buscemi wasn't in Spider-Man.
He was
no
Steve
Willem Dafoe and Steve Buscemi.
Oh, okay. Dude, yeah, Steve Buscemi was in fucking Spy Kids too, and he has a fucking quote.
Do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?
But
oh, that was a sick trip.
That was a sick trip. But yeah, dude, I'm fucking. Oh, also, we're working on a fucking album.
Yeah.
I'm working on an album, dude. I'm working on a solo album. We didn't even explain what the fuck we are. Like, what the fuck we're doing. Like, we just hopped in the podcast. All I said was that we like making shit, but like, I don't know, we're doing clothes and shit. We're doing magazines.
Yeah.
I just feel like this podcast thing is just kind of cool because, I mean, for the most part, it's just self-written and self-directed interviews.
Pretty much.
And we're in charge of the editing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we're our own people.
Like, later tonight, I'm probably just going to be drinking coffee with my headphones on, editing this fucking podcast. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So essentially, I guess we should just explain. We have enough time to do this shit. So,
you go first.
Yeah, so, okay, I'll go more, like, myself in terms of how I saw it, and then, like how this relates to me. Josh, are you going to come in or no? Okay. Can you yell your favorite word real quick?
Huh?
Yell your favorite word in the entire world.
He
has to close the door. Okay, yell your favorite word before we get this serious. Do you not have a favorite word?
No, why would I have a favorite word? What's your favorite word, Simon?
Bitch? Dude, I was gonna make a fucking Too Short reference.
What's your,
What's my favorite word?
Yeah.
Fuck. Fuck and bitch are my two favorite words.
So, it's fuck, shit,
Bitch. Yeah, Shaq West, and I'm getting really rich! Is that it? Is that yours? But if you just get rid of all the spaces, that's one word. Fuck, shit, bitch, yeah, Shaq West, and I'm getting really rich. Just one.
That was really fast. I don't have the cops on me. I just blew a guy's head off with a shotgun. Like, come on.
Can you go? No, if you're not gonna yell your favorite word.
I'm not yell it. Rice!
Rice?
I actually really like
it.
rice. Rice is good.
Like the food or the word? Both? Oh. So like, anyway, so I'll start from like, like about the DOHBOYZ shit, like I'll start from like my entire backstory of like why I decided to like form it, and then I guess you could kind of talk about yourself too.
Okay.
So, as a kid, I always liked to make shit. I always used to like to doodle. I was never super good at drawing, and I definitely got better at drawing now, but I was never good at it, like, super, super good. I liked what I drew, and a lot of other people did too, so I guess that means I was good, but just not, like, I wasn't a fucking, like a Picasso or some shit. I just drew like all the things I drew like had circles and shit, like ovals for heads and ovals for torsos and like round legs and shit. So I just like drawing circles, but I always like to do that, and I thought that shit was cool. I had a lot of coloring books as a kid, but second grade I picked up the drums, and I used to do Tahitian drumming.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
So it's very similar to just playing the snare drum, but and then I picked that up, and then I started self teaching myself the drums, like drum kits and shit, and like how to play, how to read drum sheet music and stuff like that. So I'm self taught, and I always want to remain self taught. I think the only thing I'd take lessons for is probably vocal, like singing and shit, but I think even then, like I still just sing in the shower and I get better and better each day. But anyway, I always saw myself, because I did have an emo phase in middle school, and I did know how to play the drums. I always saw myself, I told myself I'm gonna be in a band, and I used to have a thing, like as a kid I used to be against like hip hop and rap and shit, because I was like I was one of those fucking kids, like that's not real music or whatever, because you know I used to be one of those kids, and I low key like resent that, but I'm not gonna say I wasn't one of those kids. I used to only listen to like Fall Out Boy, 21 Pilots, My Chemical Romance. I didn't even listen to metal. Like I didn't listen to. I was very selective with what I listened to.
You want me to turn this down?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, it's up to you.
I don't want to. Go ahead.
So yeah, no, I was very selective with what like I listened to, and I was also a very closed-minded person because of that, like in terms of musically. But I always said I wanted to be in a band, and I almost formed a band with a few people in middle school, but it was always someone was committed but didn't have the skill or time, or someone had the skill and time but they weren't committed and didn't want to do it. So I low-key felt alone in that, and I started recording. I got into rap and hip hop like 7th grade. I started listening to Tyler the Creator, and I was, keep in mind what kind of kid I was. The only rap I really listened to like prior to 7th grade was like Eminem. So because I was like, that's real rap or whatever. I was one of those. I was like the fucking boomers who live in New York, like New York boomers. But anyways, I started listening to Tyler the Creator and hip hop and shit in 7th grade, and I was like, oh shit, this is cool. So 8th grade comes, 8th grade fucking graduation or whatever you want to call it into high school happens. I start writing music, like I start writing raps and shit. And keep in mind, if I find that notebook, I'll recite some like next episode or like in a future episode. But I also wanted to be a fucking YouTuber too, because I really, not idolized, but I really admired Leafy's hair. So I did that shit too. Those videos will surface one day, I swear to God. But I want to do that, and I also wanted to be an artist, but I still kept telling myself I want to be in a band. And essentially what happened, I made a few YouTube videos. That shit's online somewhere. I'll find it and fucking, I'll put it, so I'll show the audience one day, but like I wanted to start something similar to Odd Future freshman year, because I was like, oh shit, this would make sense. And but now I feel like it's definitely more of a, like, I wanted to start this group that would just make shit, and the idea finally came to fruition beginning of like end of 2019, beginning of 2020. And like I'm kind of now like forming it with homies, and I think it's cool because not only is it people who are committed, but it's people who want to do this shit. And it doesn't all have to be artists. Like I could have 20 people in the DOHBOYZ, and only 3 of them could be like rappers or singers or whatever. Like I just want to get a collective of people who like to make shit and like to express that shit. And to me, that's still a band. If you have 25 people and only 3 or 4 of them are actual musicians and want to be musicians, I still think that's a band. That's a 20-man band.
Yeah.
And you can't ever do shit alone. Like, that's why I feel like I'm just getting like, I just, it's essentially just a big ass group of friends, and they like to do shit. And even if they don't like to create shit or whatever, or be an artist or whatever, they can just help with management or whatever, or just tag along and be part of the ride. Because essentially, I just want the DOHBOYZ as a whole to just be, the way I see it, it's a van full of friends.
Yeah.
And we all just ride together and do shit together. And I think by doing this podcast, having this channel, putting music videos on here. Oh, by the way, like, we're also working on music too. So the DOHBOYZ album, we don't know when the fuck that's gonna come out, but we're gonna release. We have like 3 albums planned.
Yeah.
Planned at least, and I have a solo album release. And it's alright. You should check it out. I'll link it in the description or whatever. But I have that. But I wanna, like, now that I'm we're about to graduate high school, if they don't push the shit back because of COVID-19, but like,
better not.
Yeah, I know. I'd be fucking pissed off. But I want to fucking graduate June 2nd. But like, I feel like now that we're about to graduate, I'm about to become like the powerhouse producer and like artist that I've been setting myself up to be. So, and I think I'm gonna be the main producer for a lot of like the music side for DOHBOYZ and myself in general, and just kind of give a platform for like my homies to speak their mind and shit and make shit and express. Which is why the magazines are cool, because the magazine will just be our mind fused together if it was a book. It'll just be a little pocket-sized book of just our minds and what we think is fucking cool. And if people, and that'll just kind of like draw people towards us like more, because it's not a hassle. I don't feel like it's work.
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely passion, like putting forth our minds into it and like all of our energy into it. And that I'm so down to do this shit. I've been wanting to do this shit since I was a young kid. It's like we're not even super established yet, but like sometimes I'll just be crying tears of joy at night because it's forming and I know it'll pay off. So like
with yours truly.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, the third person on this cast who's like on the podcast, right, who's like one of the hosts or whatever, she's like really good at drawing.
Very talented.
Yeah.
Very cool person too, just in general.
But yeah.
A good friend, just shit.
But yeah, that's just how I see it. That's what I want to do with DOHBOYZ. And I want to like, I want to, and I know we're gonna like do big shit in the next 10 years and beyond.
Yeah.
And that just starts with fucking us recording this podcast and making beats and music and shit, and just being ourselves and being our true selves and not putting up a front for other people.
Yeah.
And now it's your turn, Simon.
Okay.
Do you wanna pass the controller so you can focus on this story?
I'm doing pretty well on this. I'll let you know. My name's Simon Cox, aka Doc Neff, short for Dr. Nefarious. Hopefully y'all get that reference. I do drawing, illustration, cinematography, filmmaking, and I'm currently getting into music. I grew up listening to a lot of music but never making my own music. And one thing that's always inspired me is that if other people can do this shit, why can't I? You know what I mean? And I got bullied a lot as a motherfucking kid. Struggled with self-confidence. Tried to make up for it in being a class clown. And so because of that, my teachers hated my guts. And so I hated my teachers back. And because of that, I was never a student. I was never an academic person, despite my parents getting diplomas and shit. My mom went to Yale, but I was never like into academia because I don't dislike it. It's just not for me, you know.
Yeah.
If I always wanted to learn something, I'd learn it on my own. You know, I'd teach it on my own. I'm self-taught in half the shit I do. Like, I was learning. I'd self-teach myself history. You know.
Yeah.
People would be like, "Ew, history." Like, nah, history fucking is bomb. History is an infinite science. Anyways, that doesn't matter. I got into drawing from a very young age because drawing has always been a way for me to put down my thoughts on paper.
Yeah.
And I never like developed it as a skill until like I had some teenage drama happen to me, got my heart broken and stuff. I thought instead of wailing in the past, doing dumb shit like getting high at the park and you know, drinking and shit, I'd put my fucking time to something creative. So that's what I did, and now I draw, and as I said earlier, I'm starting to get into music because my boy here inspired me to do that shit. It taught me that, like, it doesn't matter what age I'm at, I can do this shit now, no matter what. And while I'm putting out a single right now, it's just a single because that's all it is. I'm trying to develop that.
Yeah.
And move forward with it. Hopefully we can get some gigs and shit. I think we will.
Sure.
It's all about confidence and just knowing the right people. I know some pretty dope people from where I grew up, which is the Holy Mission. Love the Mission. It's the best place in the world for a kid to grow up in, and I'm happy I did. Great tacos, but like, you know, I always, like, the clothes I wear were always the same. They were very minimalist and just like kind of like I wore flannels over jackets and shit. Like, come on.
That's kind of fire though. I mean, I fuck with it.
I mean, I did fuck with it. Now, like, I like to draw my own clothing. I like to, because I don't believe in the whole denim, like, buy your own denim patches and shit. Like, do your own designs. Don't fucking buy them because someone else made them for you to put on. Make them yourself.
Yeah.
And just I follow a philosophy of self-teaching, and I follow, you know, self-taught, self-practice, self-improvement. God, that got really fucking deep for no reason.
No, dude, I think that's sick.
How do I end this? I'm the second doughboy. I joined this group because I didn't feel like I had something to belong to, and I think that belonging has made me a stronger person, and the fact that I'm dedicated to this 100%, 1,000%, billion%, like, you know, why not?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't I do this now instead of doing it earlier or whatever the fuck? Doesn't matter to me. Like,
yeah, no, for sure.
do shit on your own terms. Do shit on your own time and fuck what everyone else thinks. Because that took me a long time to figure out.
Yeah.
To do shit, to fuck what everyone else thinks. I was always like concerned about what other people think of me instead of just thinking about myself.
Yeah, no.
How I can improve.
That's real as fuck.
Yeah.
No, like I could relate with you on that part because I mean, I have that. It became one of those things. I always preached fuck what people think, but it was always like I couldn't really follow my own philosophy that I was preaching to people.
Yeah.
Which is weird because like practice what you preach is real as fuck because it is kind of hard to practice what you preach sometimes.
It is. Yeah.
It's not something easy. Like it's way easier to say something than it is to actually do something. And I feel like I'm finally in that place where fuck what people think. I feel like now I'm definitely in that place because, like, I think for the longest time I tried too hard to be someone I'm not. And
did you survive that?
I have no
Wait,
idea.
can you go into that garage?
I can. Oh yeah. But I tried for the longest time to be someone I'm not and be like something that like whenever I'd make something I'd be like, this doesn't sound like the person I'm trying to mimic. And then I didn't realize until a long ass time into that process that why the fuck am I trying to sound like the person I'm like why am I trying to mimic someone like a sound like my whole goal is to like shift how shit is and perceived, whether that's with my work or the DOHBOYZ. And I feel like the only way I could do that is just trusting my gut instinct and not trying to be what's popular. Like popularize what I want to popularize what I think is cool. And I feel like a lot more people are obsessed with trying to be the next this or the next that rather than trying to be them and doing what the fuck they like.
Be the next you.
Yeah, exactly. Be the only and next you. And that's essentially why I wanted to make the DOHBOYZ just because, like, I don't know, I feel like I want to make something with my homies as well as, like, do my own solo music. So, like, I'm planning to release another project soon. And, like, I can already tell, like, just because I have a lot of the demos done. I've improved since like when I first started making music in terms of songwriting and producing as well. So like, I'm looking forward to that. But I can't wait till all this DOHBOYZ shit takes off and shit. And I feel like we'll have gigs and shit too. But I'm so glad we went forth with this fucking podcast idea because it's so sick. Like, I think that this is such a modern medium thing to do. Just like, at least, or especially like with how we want to do this podcast. Like, for the most part, like there's a lot of different types of podcasts and news and shit. But like me and Simon, we hang out damn near every day, and we talk damn near every day. So like, why not? Like, we talk for, like, hours every day or every other day, so why not, like, record one of those hours and release it, like, per week? Like, it just made sense. And sometimes we talk about real shit, and I think this is how, like, we build that fan base and build, like, just people who fuck with us, the real us, you know what I mean? Not just, like, or characters we make in our music, like, but... yeah, new music shit coming soon from both of us, and the whole collective as a whole. I think over time, like as the collective starts to strengthen and form more, you'll hear more of the other members on the cast. But yeah,
Yeah, bruh.
Holy shit, that was the first episode of the fucking podcast. I'm probably gonna score the soundtrack to the podcast, so it'll probably be some like. What vibe should we go for, like, musically for, I guess, I don't know how you want to structure, I guess you want to change the jingle every 10 episodes?
Beats to study to.
Beats to study, you want me to make a fucking chill hop beat? I'll make some chill lo-fi shit for the first 10. We should switch up the jingle every 10 or 20 episodes.
Alright.
So, I guess the first will be chiller, and, yeah, I feel like I'll learn how to do that shit, but, yeah, that was episode 1.
Pass the controller.
Oh yeah, I'll pass the controller. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
And tune in next week. Probably, maybe. I'm not gonna promise you or guarantee you anything, but tune in next time because this shit is gonna be common. Tell your friends about us, and I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Thanks for listening to